What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm eBike Builder. Today we're going to talk about Super 73. Is Super 73 cooked? What is going on in 2025 with this iconic American e-bike brand? We're going to talk all about it. Welcome to the channel. Let's go here. Alright, so what's going on? What's going on, guys, with Super 73? So, first of all, there's these new Californian e-bike laws. I did a video about it yesterday, but it's basically called SB 1271. So they've got these new laws in California that are kind of causing problems, right? I think that's part of this. And then the other part is that there's this lawsuit against Super 73, right? So I did a video yesterday about the new Californian e-bike laws. Basically, it's just that it seems like they're trying to go after the whole like Class 3 e-bikes that have throttles and go faster than 28 miles an hour. It seems like California is trying to crack down on illegal e-bikes that don't follow the silly rules, right? So that's part of the problem, but we're not going to talk about that in this video. We'll talk about it, how it relates to this video, but if you want to talk about the new Californian e-bike laws, make sure you go check out that video that I did the other day. Okay, so first let's take a look at this lawsuit that Super 73 got filed against them. Alright. Here we go. So this is on the website of Anna Pohl Weiss. I guess there's some attorneys or law firm or something. Looks like in Philadelphia. Philadelphia Class Action Lawyers. E-bike lawsuit attorneys. So here we are. Here's the lawsuit against Super 73. Let's see if I can zoom this in so everyone can read it. Get out of here, chat girl. Alright. Let's go here. Alright. So, e-bike lawsuit attorneys. Anna Pohl Weiss has filed a class action lawsuit against Super 73 on behalf of California consumers who purchased electric vehicles that the company labeled and advertised as e-bikes. The lawsuit, led by a California mother, claims Super 73 misled consumers about the legality of their vehicles as e-bikes under state law. The lead plaintiff, who bought a Super 73 vehicle for her son for his 12th birthday, later learned that the vehicle is not an e-bike under state law and cannot be operated without a driver's license, registration, and insurance. This case highlights the illegal conduct and deceptive marketing practices of Super 73 and the harm caused to consumers who rely on accurate product information to make informed purchases. Okay? So, understanding the case against Super 73. The lawsuit centers on the lead plaintiff's experience with Super 73, misleading marketing. Plaintiff purchased the vehicle, believing it was a safe, convenient, and legal form of transportation for her son. Super 73 markets and sells its vehicles as e-bikes that are compliant with state law. Legal limitations. After attempting to register the bike at her son's school, she learned that the model was banned. Local authorities further informed her that the Super 73 vehicle is not an e-bike due to the motor's size and high-speed capabilities, making it illegal for riders of any age without a license, registration, and insurance. So then there's the consumer impact. The plaintiff and other members of the class have been left with costly products they cannot use legally or safely. So they're basically saying Super 73 falsely advertises and labels its vehicles as e-bikes, duping consumers into believing that the vehicles can be lawfully operated as e-bikes. So this sounds a lot like e-bikes and the current existing e-bike laws in general. Right? I mean, basically it seems like Super 73 is kind of being like singled out here, or made an example of or something. Well, I guess this is a lawsuit against Super 73, right? But yeah, so a lot of e-bikes do this, right? A lot of e-bikes say, oh yeah, it's an e-bike, but then you can you can change it somehow, make it go a lot faster. So there's safety and consumer concerns. This lawsuit brings attention to critical issues about high-speed electric vehicles that are misleadingly marketed and sold as e-bikes, like those produced by Super 73. So there's speed and safety risks. Many Super 73 models can reach speeds far exceeding legal limits for e-bikes, making them more akin to motorcycles. These speeds pose risks to both riders and pedestrians. And then there's rising injury rates. A UCSF study revealed that injuries from e-bikes have doubled in recent years, with many incidents involving minors and high-speed models. These concerns underscore the need for manufacturers to be transparent about their products and the importance of holding companies accountable for misleading consumers. The class action lawsuit. Anapol Weiss has filed this class action lawsuit to hold Super 73 accountable for its illegal conduct and deceptive practices. The claims include false advertising. Super 73 advertises its bikes as legal and compliant with state laws governing e-bikes, while failing to disclose that many of their products are not actually e-bikes, but rather motor vehicles requiring licensing and registration. So there's a failure to inform consumers that its vehicles cannot be lawfully operated as e-bikes. And there's consumer harm. Class members, including the lead plaintiff, have incurred significant financial losses by purchasing bikes they cannot legally operate. Why this case matters. This lawsuit addresses the harm caused by deceptive marketing practices and the financial and practical burden placed on consumers who purchase products they cannot legally use. If successful, the lawsuit could ensure greater accountability and transparency from manufacturers like Super 73. Okay, so that is the class action lawsuit on the Anapol Weiss website. So then I was thinking, man, that's kind of a bummer. Super 73 got sued, and now they're kind of being made an example of in this new Californian lawsuit situation. At least that's how it feels. They're kind of being made an example of here. So yesterday I was wondering what's going on with Super 73. How are they responding to this? And I went to Super 73's website and I was looking at their bikes. Let's go here. Let's go to Super 73's website. So I'm just going to the main page, home page. Alright, here we are. Full screen in it. Holy buckets. It's taking up the full screen. Alright, so now look at this. Do you notice anything about these e-bikes? About all of their e-bikes currently? Look at the class. It says Class 2, 20 miles an hour. So I don't see any more Class 3 e-bikes at all, is what I'm noticing. Right? Like when I go on Super 73's website, I go to the electric bikes. Let's go. So I mean, they've got the Z series, so that looks like kind of entry level. There's an S series. There's the R series, which is apparently kind of like their high-end e-bikes with the rear suspension and stuff. Presumably more power and speed. So let's go look. I looked at the Z series and the S series yesterday, and as far as I can tell, they only sell Class 2 e-bikes now. So let's go look at the R series. I didn't look at this. So the R series, this is their best. This is like their top of the line e-bike models, the R series. So what do they got going on here? These things are so expensive. $5,000 for an e-bike? Man, I mean, they look cool. I like how they look, and I like the design of them. I think that Super73, they do a good job with designing these bikes, because it's like, even though there's all these Chinese companies that copy it, I still don't think that there's any Chinese company that has done like a good job of copying it. You know, to the point where you can like look at the bike and it's like you can't even tell if it's a Super73 or not. Like, usually China does a pretty good job of copying things, but I don't think they've done a great job. In the case of Super73, there's a lot of e-bikes that have kind of copied the style, but nobody really just like, they haven't really just like straight up copied it yet. I don't know. I would have thought that Super73, they would have more copycats. Like, anyways, I mean, so look at these bikes. So expensive. So I noticed that it does say for riders 16 years of age and older. But look at this. It says top speed 20 miles an hour. Motor 750 watt nominal. Why does this thing move? That's such a weird deal on this website. Alright. So then down at the bottom, look at this. It says, in light of newly implemented regulations, customers who download and pair the Super73 app after January 1st, 2025 will not have the ability to access modes other than the Class 2 mode in which the product is sold. Man, that's crazy. So my question at this point is, like, who's going to buy a Super73 bike? This is a Super73, like right now, Super73 is cooked. Like, they're probably not selling any bikes because of this fiasco and this situation here. And that's the case for all of their bikes. Like, I'm pretty sure how Super73 has responded to both the lawsuit and those new California, the SB 1271 e-bike law. It seems like Super73 has responded by making all of their e-bikes Class 2. And apparently, if I'm reading this right and understanding this right, after January 1st, 2025, it seems like Super73... It seems like all Super73 bikes that are being manufactured after January 1st, 2025 are just Class 2. It doesn't even seem like they're gonna have Class 3, which is crazy to me, because I would have thought the Super73, they'd be like, okay, like we'll get rid of the off-road mode. We're not going to have that anymore. And we'll still have... Because if you look at how Super73 bikes used to work... And I pulled this up on the Wayback Machine. So I want to show you something. I want to show you... First, I want to show you how they changed this. So... Well, let's keep this rolling here, because I don't want to have to edit this video. Okay, so I went on the Wayback Machine and I pulled up the speed chart, Super73 speed chart. I don't know if this still exists or if they have a new... I don't know. I think they might have just got rid of this speed chart and it's not even on their website anymore. This is actually a file that Super73 has uploaded to Shopify, so it's just kind of still on Shopify's servers and Google searches, and it's not necessarily on their website. But this is how it used to work with Super73 e-bikes. was they had throttle and pedal assist, and it seems like they had it configured in accordance with the existing laws, right? Because for Class 1, the throttle is deactivated and the pedal assist can go 20, right? And then with Class 2, the throttle can go 20 and then pedal assist can go 20. In Class 3, it says the throttle is deactivated, right? So they were following the rules there. And it can pedal assist up to 28 in Class 3. Notice how it cuts off at 28. It doesn't say 28 plus miles an hour in Class 3. So as far as I can tell, based on this speed chart, the way that Super73 had their bikes set up in the past, as far as I can tell, was in accordance with the existing laws. So I don't know, I'm not sure what this lawsuit is about, or like, I mean, we know what the lawsuit is about, we looked at it, but it seems like Super73 was, following the rules here, right? Class 2, throttle can go up to 20. Class 3, throttle is deactivated, and it'll go up to 28. Cuts off at 28. So then they did have the off-road mode, too. And I think this is maybe where they got into some problems. It's just by offering consumers the app, and then consumers, they would go into the app on their phone, and then they could enable that off-road mode to put it into off-road mode and go faster than 28 miles an hour with both throttle and pedaling. So it's interesting because it seems like they were following the rules. It seems like they had their bikes configured for both throttle and pedal assist, both Class 2 and Class 3. You could switch it in the options, and here we are. So I haven't read the legal documents or looked into to see if any of that lawsuit, any of that is started yet, or if any of it's available to look at publicly. But I'm assuming that the lawsuit, they're probably going to be going after the off-road mode. They're probably going to be saying it's you guys are at fault. Super73 allowed their users, they gave their users the option of turning on this off-road mode, which makes their e-bike turn into a motorcycle. Right? It seems like that is potentially what the lawsuit is going to be, because it doesn't seem like you can really argue that they had these things set up in an illegal manner. I don't know. It seems like, it seems like they were following the rules. So it's kind of an interesting thing. But yeah, so then the most interesting part of this to me is how Super73 has responded. And I don't know if this is just a in response to the lawsuit and they're just kind of waiting it out here. But I'll make this bigger so you can see it here. But yeah, I mean, so it's just crazy how it seems like Super73, they're only gonna be selling Class 2 e-bikes currently, at least. So I was just kind of racking my brain last night about why is that? Why wouldn't they try and make them Class 3, right? Because Super73, there's these $5,000 e-bikes, right? They're very expensive e-bikes. And so now that they've got sued and they're kind of being made an example of here, it seems like they're gonna have to kind of dial their bikes back a little bit, maybe. So let's go look at what's going on with the S series. Still super expensive. they've got a huge sale on like all of their bikes. So it seems like, I mean, this is probably like, I wonder how much money they're even making on these things when they're selling them on a $500 sale. They were always overpriced to begin with, the Super 73s. Even at $2,800 for this S2, if it's only going 20 miles an hour, I wouldn't buy it. So it's kind of a weird deal. Class 2, 20 miles an hour, motor 750 watts nominal. So I don't know, Super 73, they're cooked. Like, who's gonna buy a Super 73 at this point? When they're only Class 2 and they're so expensive. So what do you guys think that Super 73 is gonna do here? Do you think they're gonna bring back Class 3 e-bikes? Maybe their operations just got disrupted from the lawsuit and the new Californian, that new bill, SB 1271. Maybe they're just kind of taking it easy right now, and they're like, holy shit, guys, like, we're making these things Class 2. And I imagine, here's what I think that Super 73 is gonna do. Here's what I think. I think Super 73, they're going to do like a pivot or something. Like, they're going to have to go back to the drawing board here. Because they can't sell it seems like they can't sell e-bikes that go faster than 28 anymore for sure. But it also seems like they're pulling out of Class 3 e-bikes. So I don't know. It seems like these bikes have a thumb throttle on them. I was thinking last night, and I was like, well, why doesn't Super 73 want a Class 3 bike? Like, why wouldn't they make their bikes Class 3? Or, like, they already have the functionality where you can switch between Class 2 and Class 3. So I don't understand if every other e-bike manufacturer everywhere is shipping their e-bikes that can be configured as both Class 2 and Class 3. It definitely seems like Super 73 is kind of getting singled out here. So what I think they're gonna do, I think if they just go down to Class 2 and that's all that they're doing, they're cooked. Like, nobody's gonna buy them, right? So I think that Super 73 right now, they're probably trying to clear inventory and just sell everything that they have, and they've got to go back to the drawing board to figure out, what are we going to do, right? And I think what they're probably going to do is I don't know. I mean, if I was Super 73, I would try and, like, I mean, for sure, they're probably putting a motor on these things that is a little bit better than an e-bike really needs. I don't know. I mean, that can be said for a lot of e-bike motors. Unless you're like 300 or 400 pounds, these e-bike motors, you know, they're pretty powerful. They've got a little bit of wiggle room. But I think that what Super 73 is going to do is they're probably going to, they're going to downgrade the controllers. They're going to downgrade the motors and the electronics and everything. They're going to make their bike, do these things have a speedometer? I don't know. Like, I still don't understand why they don't want to be Class 3. But I think they're gonna downgrade the controllers and the motors, and it's just gonna be a very, like, basic 750 watt motor that's, like, only capable. Like, if you're making a bike that's only Class 2 and can only do Class 2, you don't need the motor to be able to go much faster than 20 miles an hour, right? So it makes sense to actually, like, change the motor windings themselves so that so you can kind of lower the speed a little bit, but then it would increase the torque, right? So at the very least, even though the bikes can't go as fast as they did in the past, you can still change the motor in such a way where it's a lower top speed, but you get a lot more torque and it would accelerate fast. So I think that could be something that they do, is they change like the motor windings themselves so that it's more of a torquier motor wind, and like the motor just is not capable of going faster than the legal limits. There's not really any way where you can make an electric motor and like lock it to a specific speed, because you can always hook them, like motors, they just got 3-phase wires and you can hook it up to some kind of like a voltage source, a battery or whatever, and you just make it go, and then based on the motor windings and the voltage of your battery, that determines how fast the motor is going to spin based on the motor windings. It's based on the windings and then the voltage, right? So I think that they're probably just going to change the electronics on these bikes. They'll maybe lower the prices a little bit, you know, because if they're putting a motor on it that's not quite as beefy, and they're putting a controller on it that's not quite as beefy, you could probably lower the price a little bit. So I don't know, maybe in the future we'll see Super 73. The prices might come down a little bit along with these changes to their bikes and kind of lowering the specs on them. It's still very interesting to me. It's like racking my brain that it's only Class 2 right now, and they're not even, like, none of their bikes say Class 3 anymore. That's very interesting to me. Leave a comment about why you think that is. Why isn't Super 73 trying to sell any Class 3 e-bikes anymore? What is up with that? But yeah, I think they're cooked right now. I mean, nobody's buying Super 73s right now unless you're a complete doofus and you're just out of the loop. So, I mean, I guess time will tell what happens with this. I looked all over their website. I couldn't find anything else about this. I looked at the press page. Nothing there. It doesn't really seem that Super 73 has responded, other than, you know, changing their website, making everything say that Class 2 is the max. They're only selling Class 2 bikes anymore. Top speed 20 miles an hour, motor 750 watt nominal. Right? So, I mean, this is really the only way that I've seen them respond so far, is just this little text right here. And then their bikes themselves, and they're only selling Class 2 bikes. That is insane to me. That's crazy. Super 73 is cooked. Like, they're done. They're not selling shit right now until this gets figured out. So let me know in the comments what you think is going to happen with the Super 73 lawsuit. Why do you think they backed out of Class 3? That's crazy to me. Yeah, I thought I'd do a quick video about this. It looks like it turned into 30 minutes again. So I hope you guys enjoyed this e-bike discussion. Leave a comment, like, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Until next time. Peace out, bubbies. Later.